Khwarezm, or Chorasmia, Persian, Xvârazm, is a large oasis region on the Amu Darya river delta in western Central Asia, bordered on the north by the former Aral Sea, on the east by the Kyzylkum desert, on the south by the Karakum desert, and on the west by the Ustyurt Plateau. It was the center of the Iranian Khwarezmian civilization, and a series of kingdoms such as the Persian Empire, whose capitals were, among others, Kath, Gurganj, the modern Köneürgenç, and, from the 16th century on, Khiva. Today, Khwarezm belongs partly to Uzbekistan, partly to Kazakhstan and partly to Turkmenistan. Names and etymology. Names. Khwarezm has been known also as Chorasmia, Khwarezm, Khwarezmia, Khwarezm, 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 Khorasam, Khwarezm, Khwarezm, Oasis, and Khwarezm. In Avestan the name is Xvârazm. In Old Persian Khwarezmish. In Modern Persian, Xvârazm. In Arabic, Xvârazm. In Old Chinese *qaljmri. In Modern Chinese Walazimo, Shaojing. In Tajik, Xvârazm. In Kazakh, Xvârazm. In Uzbek, Xvârazm. In Turkmen, Oasis. In Turkish, Khwarezm. In Greek language Chi Omicron Rho Alpha Sigma Mu Iota Alpha, Chorasmia, and Chi Omicron Rho Alpha Sigma Iota Mu Alpha, Chorasima. By Herodotus. Etymology. The Arab geographer Yaqut al-Hamawi in his Mugam al-Budan wrote that the name was a Persian compound of khwar and razm, referring to the abundance of cooked fish as a main diet of the peoples of this area. C. E. Bosworth, however, believes the Persian name to be made up of xor, the sun, and zam, earth, land, designating the land from which the sun rises, although a similar etymology is also given for Khorasan. Another view is that the Iranian compound stands for lowland from kh, w, r, low, and zam, land. Quote, Khwarezm is indeed the lowest region in Central Asia, except for the Caspian Sea to the far west, located on the delta of the Amu Darya on the southern shores of the Aral Sea. Various forms of khwar, kar, khor, hor are commonly used also in the Persian Gulf to stand for tidal flats, marshland, or tidal bays, e.g., Khor Musa, Khor Abdullah, Hor al-Azim, Hor al-Hima, etc. The name also appears in Achaemenid inscriptions as Khwarezmish, which is declared to be part of the Persian Empire. Some of the early scholars believed Khwarezm to be what ancient Avestic texts refer to as Ayanum Varaya, Aryan. Later Middle Persian Iran Vij. These sources claim that Old Urgench, which was the capital of ancient Khwarezm for many years, was actually Avar, the eighth land of Ahura Mazda mentioned in the Pahlavi text of Vendidad. However, Michael Witzel, a researcher in early Indo-European history, believes that Ayanum Varaya was located in what is now Afghanistan, the northern areas of which were a part of ancient Khwarezm and Greater Khorasan. Others, however, disagree. University of Hawaii historian Elton L. Daniel believes Khwarezm to be the most likely locale corresponding to the original home of the Avestan people, and Dakota calls Khwarezm the cradle of the Aryan tribe. Legendary history. Al-Biruni, 973-1048. A native speaker of Chorasmian, an Iranian language, says that the land belonging to the mythical king Afrasiab was first colonized 980 years before Alexander the Great. Thus c. 1292 B.C., well before the Seleucid era, when the hero of the Iranian epic Sire Vash came to Khwarezm. His son Khosrow came to the throne 92 years later. In 1200 B. c. Al-Biruni starts giving names only with the Afrigid line of Khwarezm Shahs, having placed the ascension of Afrids in 616 of the Seleucid era, i.e. in 305 A.D. Early people, like Sofdiana, Khwarezm was an expansion of the BMAC culture during the Bronze Age, which later fused with Indo-Iranians during their migrations around 1000 BC. Early Iron Age states arose from this cultural exchange. List of successive cultures in Khwarezm region 3500 BC. Keltamana culture c. 3000 BC. Suyagan culture c. 2000 BC. Tazabagyab culture c. 1500 BC. Amirabad culture c. 1000 BC. Saka c. 500 BC. During the final Saka phase, there were about 400 settlements in Khwarezm, ruled by the native Afrigid dynasty. It was at this point that Khwarezm entered the historical record with the Achaemenid expansion. Khwarezmian language and culture. An East Iranian language, known as Khwarezmian language, was spoken in Khwarezm proper, i.e. the lower Amu Darya region, until soon after the Mongol invasion, when it was replaced by Turkic languages. It was closely related to Sogdian, other than the astronomical terms used by the native Iranian Khwarezmian speaker Al-Biruni. Our other sources of Khwarezmian include Zamakhshari's Arabic Persian Khwarezmian dictionary and several legal texts that use Khwarezmian terms to explain certain legal concepts. In the very early part of its history, the inhabitants of the area were from Iranian stock and they spoke an Eastern Iranian language called Khwarezmian. The famous scientist Al-Biruni, a Khwarezm native, in his Athar al-Baqiyah, specifically verifies the Iranian origins of Khwarezmians when he wrote, in Arabic, the people of the Khwarezm were a branch from Persian tree. Quote, the area of Khwarezm was under Afrigid and then Samanid control until the 10th century before it was conquered by the Ghaznavids. The Iranian Chorasmian language and culture felt the pressure of Turkic infiltration from northern Khwarezm southwards, leading to the disappearance of the original Iranian character of the province and its complete Turkicization today. But Khwarezmian speech probably lasted in Upper Khwarezm, the region round Hazarasp, till the end of the 8th–14th century. The Iranian Chorasmian language survived for several centuries after Islam until the Turkification of the region, and so must some at least of the culture and law of ancient Khwarezm. For it is hard to see the commanding figure of Al-Biruni, a repository of so much knowledge, appearing in a cultural vacuum. Achaemenid, Parthian and Sassanid era. Sometime before the Achaemenid king Cyrus the Great's death in 530 BC, he had conquered Khwarezm. While he was dying, he appointed his son Smerdis Bardia as the governor of the region, along with Bactriana, Carmania, and the other eastern provinces of the empire. And the Persian poet Ferdowsi mentions Persian cities like Afrasiab and Shach in abundance in his epic Shahnameh. When the king of Khwarezm offered friendship to Alexander the Great in 328 BC, Alexander's Greek and Roman biographers imagined the nomad king of a desert waste. But 20th-century Russian archaeologists revealed the region as a stable and centralized kingdom, a land of agriculture to the east of the Aral Sea, surrounded by the nomads of Central Asia, protected by its army of mailed horsemen. In the most powerful kingdom northwest of the Amu Darya, the Oxus River of antiquity, the king's emissary offered to lead Alexander's armies against his own enemies, west over the Caspian towards the Black Sea, e.g., Kingdom of Iberia and Colchis. Alexander politely refused, although largely independent during the Seleucid, Bactrian and Arsacid dynasties. It is known that Khwarezm and neighboring Bactriana were part of the Sassanid Empire during the time of Bahram II. Yaqut al-Hamawi verifies that Khwarezm was a regional capital of the Sassanid Empire. When speaking of the pre-Islamic Khosrau of Khwarezm, the Islamic Emir of Khwarezm, or even the Khwarezmid Empire, sources such as al-Biruni and Ibn Khordadbeh and others clearly refer to Khwarezm as being part of the Iranian Persian Empire. The fact that Pahlavi script, which was used by the Persian bureaucracy alongside Old Persian, passed into use in Khwarezmia, where it served as the first local alphabet about the AD 2nd century, as well as evidence that Khwarezm Shahs such as Ala al-Din Takish, 1172–1200, issued all their orders, both administrative and public, in Persian language, corroborates al-Biruni's claims. It was also a vassal kingdom during periods of Kushans, Hephthalites and Gokturks' power before the coming of the Arabs. Afrids. The Afrids were a native Chorasmian, i.g. Iranian, dynasty which ruled over the kingdom of Khwarezm. According to al-Biruni, from 305 until 995 AD. Sometimes it was under Sassanid control. In 712 Khwarezm was conquered by the Arab Umayyads. It thus came vaguely under Muslim suzerainty. But it was not until the end of the 8th century or the beginning of the 9th century that an Afrigid Shah was first converted to Islam, appearing with the popular convert's name of Abdullah, slave of God, in the course of the 10th century. When some geographers such as Istakri in his Al-Masalik war el-Mamalik mention Khwarezm as part of Khorasan and Transoxiana, the local family of the Mamunids who were based in Gurganj, on the left bank of the Amu Darya, grew in economic and political importance due to trade caravans. In 995, they violently overthrew the Afrids of Kath and themselves assumed the traditional title of Khwarezm Shah. Briefly, the area was under Samanid suzerainty, before it passed to Mahmud of Ghazna in 1017. From then on, Turco-Mongolian invasions and long rule by Turco-Mongol dynasties supplanted the Iranian character of the region, although the title of Khwarezm Shah was maintained well up to the 13th century. Khwarezmid Empire. The Khwarezmid Empire was founded in the 12th century. It became a vassal of the Karakum Khanate after Yeludashi won the Battle of Katwan, 1141, against a Seljuk army commanded by Sunja. Karakum suzerainty weakened later. The Khwarezmid Empire ruled over all of Persia in the early 13th century under Shah Ala al-Din Muhammad II. 1200 to 1220. From 1218 to 1220, Genghis Khan conquered Central Asia including the Karakum Khanate, thus ending the Khwarezmid Empire. Sultan Muhammad died after retreating from the Mongols near the Caspian Sea, while his son Jalal ad-Din, after being defeated by Genghis Khan at the Battle of Indus, sought refuge with the Delhi Sultanate, and was later assassinated after various attempts to defeat the Mongols and the Seljuks. Modern age. The region of Khwarezm was split between the White Horde and Jagatai Khanate, and its rebuilt capital Gurganj, modern Köneürgenç, Old Gurganj, as against the modern city of Urgenç some distance away, again became one of the largest and most important trading centers in Central Asia. In the mid-14th century, Khwarezm gained independence from the Golden Horde under the Sufid dynasty. However, Timur regarded Khwarezm as a rival to Samarkand, and over the course of 5 campaigns, he destroyed Urgenç completely in 1388. This, together with a shift in the course of the Amu Darya, caused the center of Khwarezm to shift to Khiva, which became in the 16th century the capital of the Khanate of Khiva. ruled over by the dynasty of the Arab Shahids. The rumors of gold on the banks of the Amu Darya during the reign of Russia's Peter the Great, together with the desire of the Russian Empire to open a trade route to the Indus, modern-day Pakistan, prompted an armed trade expedition to the region, led by Prince Alexander Bakovich Cherkassky, which was repelled by Khiva. It was under Tsars Alexander II and Alexander III that serious efforts to annex the region started. One of the main pretexts to Russian military expeditions to Khiva was to free Russian slaves in the Khanate and to prevent future slave capture and trade. Early in the Great Game, Russian interests in the region collided with those of the British Empire in the First Anglo-Afghan War in 1839. The Khanate of Khiva was gradually reduced in size from Russian expansion in Turkestan, including Khwarezm, and, in 1873, a peace treaty was signed that established Khiva as a quasi-independent Russian protectorate. After the Bolshevik seizure of power in the October Revolution, a short-lived Khwarezm People's Soviet Republic, later the Khwarezm SSR, was created out of the territory of the old Khanate of Khiva, before in 1924 it was finally incorporated into the Soviet Union, with the former Khanate divided between the new Turkmen SSR, Uzbek SSR and Karakalpakstan ASSR. Initially part of Kazakh ASSR as Karakalpak Oblast, the larger historical area of Khwarezm is further divided. Northern Khwarezm became the Uzbek SSR, and in 1925 the western part became the Turkmen SSR. Also, in 1936 northwestern part became Kazakh SSR. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, these became Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan respectively. Many of the ancient Khwarezmian towns are situated currently in Xvârazm province, Uzbekistan. Today, the area that was Khwarezm has a mixed population of Uzbeks, Karakalpaks, Turkmens, Tajiks, Tatars, and Kazakhs. In Persian literature, Khwarezm and her cities appear in Persian literature in abundance, in both prose and poetry. The Coda, for example, defines the name Bukhara itself as full of knowledge, referring to the fact that in antiquity, Bukhara was a scientific and scholarship powerhouse. Rumi verifies this when he praises the city as such. Other examples illustrate the eminent status of Khwarezmid and Transoxianian cities in Persian literature in the past 1,500 years. The world of hearts is under his power in the same manner that the Khwarezm Shahs have brought peace to the world. Kakani Shervani, a greedy one, went to Khwarezm Shah early one morning. So I have heard. Sadi Yaqut al-Hamawi, who visited Khwarezm and its capital in 1219, wrote, I have never seen a city more wealthy and beautiful than Gurganj. The city, however, was destroyed during several invasions, in particular when the Mongol army broke the dams of the Amu Darya which flooded the city. He reports that for every Mongol soldier, 4 inhabitants of Gurganj were killed. Najmuddin Kubra, the great Sufi master, was among the casualties. The Mongol army that devastated Gurganj was estimated to have been near 80,000 soldiers. The verse below refers to an early previous calamity that fell upon the region. O land of Khorasan, God has saved you from the disaster that befell the land of Gurganj and Kath. Divanavan vary. Nevertheless, the beauty and fame of Bukhara and Samarkand are well known in Persian literature. The following famous cosmopolitan ode perhaps best provides a notable example of this. If that Shirazi Turk can win my heart, I would sell even the jewel cities of Samarkand and Bukhara for the Indian mole on her cheek. Hafiz. Legend has it that Tamerlane sent for Hafiz regarding this verse and asked angrily, "Are you he who was so bold as to offer my two great cities Samarkand and Bukhara for the mole on thy mistress's cheek?" Hafiz then replied, "Yes, sire, and it is by such acts of generosity that I have brought myself to such a state of destitution, that I have now to solicit your bounty." Tamerlane is written to have been so pleased at his ready wit that he dismissed the poet with a handsome present. Notable people. The following either hail from Khwarezm, or lived and are buried there. Zoroaster, aka Zarathustra, prophet and founder of the religion of Zoroastrianism. Al-Biruni, outstanding scholar. Marman II, Khwarezm Shah and founder of an academy. Najm al-Din Kubra, Sufi mystic. Rashid al-Din Vatvat, panegyrist and epistolographer. Fakhr al-Din Razi, Ala al-Din Atsiz, Khwarezm Shah. Ala al-Din Muhammad, Khwarezm Shah. Jalal ad-Din Mangubadi, Khwarezm Shah. Abu el-Hasan Sarida ibn Sada, commentary writer on the writings of Sibawayh. Abaq al-Khwarezmi, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarezmi, mathematician, for whom the term algorithm is named. Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Khwarezmi, 10th century encyclopedist who wrote Mafati al-Ulam, Key to the Sciences. Zamakhshari, scholar. Kutub al-Zaman Muhammad ibn Abu Tahir Marwazi, philosopher. Al-Marwazi, astronomer. Mahmud Yalavach, ambassador and governor of Mavaruna, 1224–1238. Abu el-Ghazi Bahadur, Khan and historian. Rastakhin, a mercenary leader of the Khazars. See also Zoroaster, Zoroastrianism, Khwarezmian language, Khwarezm People's Soviet Republic, Khwarezmian Empire, Karaite, UAR, Eurasian Avars, Karakalpakstan, Mount Imyan, Koykulgan Kala. Sources: Yuri Bregel, The Tsars in the Khanate of Khiva. Journal of Asian History. Volume 12, 1978. pp. 121–151. Robin Lane Fox, Alexander the Great. pp. 308 ff. etc. Shah Muhammad Marab Munis and Muhammad Reza Marab Agahi. Fyodor Zal-Iqbal, History of Khwarezm. Leiden, Brill, 1999. Transined. Yuri Bregel. West. Barbara A. January 1, 2009. Encyclopedia of the Peoples of Asia and Oceania. Infobase Publishing. ISBN 14381191135. Retrieved March 13, 2015. Jonah Lendring. Chorasmia, On the Ancient History of Khwarezmia. E. Nerazik on Central Asia in the Early Middle Ages.